Hey, welcome back. I'm going to follow up that first story about our new mice supplier with another one that kind of goes in all different directions. But these guys, after the mouse suppliers and the guys that were snorting the cocaine when we showed up, it took about probably 3 or 4 months before they kind of warmed up to us and figured that we weren't narcs because we were too young to be narcs. We were riding our bicycles over to their house to get mice every 3 or 4 days. So anyway, by this time we're back at middle school. I think I'm in 7th or 8th grade. And as I mentioned before, you know, in classes in school, we'd always be told about how, you know, there are going to be people that are out there offering you to push drugs or do drugs and just say no and all that. And that's fine. You know, I mean, I never got into it. People that did, you know, that's fine. I don't have any problem with that as long as they're not bothering me. But anyway, so these guys, they start warming up to us and they're sharing a little bit more and more about their operation at their house. And so one of the things that they did was they had a lot of venomous reptiles. They finally took us into this other room where they kept all the snakes that they had for sale after they told us they didn't have any. Remember, and they took them, you know, 3 or 4 months to warm up to us. So anyway, they take us in this other room and they show us all these venomous snakes they have. And they've got just, you know, cobras and mambas and just, you know, all kinds of derisive, you know, rattlesnakes from Central America, a lot of real deadly stuff. But mainly stuff that came from, you know, Thailand, you know, like the cobras and stuff. So anyway, we go over there and they're just opening up a new shipment they got in. And, you know, it's like 1983, 84. And the box is labeled venomous reptiles all over it. Stamped venomous reptiles, do not open, danger, all that stuff. So at the time, Fish and Game, they didn't open up boxes like that. They didn't open them up to inspect, or apparently didn't throw them through an x-ray machine or anything like that. And when they popped open the box, there was like, I guess it was heroin. I mean, like a bag or 2 bags, good-sized bags of heroin in there. I think it was heroin. And also they had a whole bunch of pills in there, like just, I don't know what kind of pills they were, something illegal, but there was a ton of them mixed in with the bags of cobras. So they said, yeah, they said, we get this stuff imported in, and Fish and Game, nobody will ever check it because it's labeled venomous reptiles, and then we take the drugs out and, you know, we sell them and we get to keep the snakes for a while, and then we sell the snakes, and, you know, we just keep doing it. And I'm like, okay, you know, whatever. And so anyway, it was at that point that the one guy, Bob, says, "Hey, I know you wanted that corn snake that that you were coming over to buy from us, and it's like $20." And mind you, I've been mowing lawns for like the whole summer in order to, you know, buy snakes and, you know, that kind of stuff. So I actually had the $20. So he said, "Look," he said, "we'll give you that snake and a couple others and whatever you want if you give some of these pills to your friends at school." And I'm like, nah, I don't think that's a good idea, you know. So anyway, I declined, of course, and he was real cool about it. He's like, "All right, well, if you change your mind, you know," because I said I would much rather just go ahead and pay for the snake than, you know, be a drug pusher. And he said, "Okay, that's fine." And so I paid for the snake, and that was the last time we ever talked about it. And I'd go over there and buy other stuff, and but you know, drugs were always there, but we never, you know, got involved in that. We were just there for the snakes and the mice, of course. And you know, so you just never know back in those days, you know, what was going to happen, what you're going to find, and that's kind of the point of my videos. But the mice situation started to come to an end when they had a live cougar living in their house, and the runaway girl. I still don't know where she came from, but she was like 15, 14. But that's a whole other story. So anyway, thanks for listening, and say no to drugs. Later.